Sheriff, they want you down at the cemetery.
Today in the cemetery, somebody dug up a coffin. It was a coffin of a 9-year-old girl. You've come back to us, Michael.
When are they going to realize that she is not him? She's just a child.
They know that Michael Myers is her uncle, and that she attacks her stepmother. That's why they fear her, especially on Halloween. You're afraid. You're afraid the whole thing might start to happen again.
How many people did he kill last year? Have you forgotten? But you never looked into his face, did you? You never saw his eyes. You never saw that nothing, no expression, blank. My memory goes back 12 years. I prayed that he would burn in hell, but in my heart, I knew that hell would not have him. Michael Myers is outside.
The National Guard will take him to a maximum security facility, where he'll stay till the day he dies.
Never die.
That's very good. Hello, I'm Dr. Cosmo McKinley. I'd like to tell you about a new film from the gang that gave you the Rocky Horror Show. Shock Treatment.
I'm not a locum with no to suture myself. I've been a cynic for too many years. Playing doctor and nurse, it can be good for your health. I've seen clinics with those gimmicks in Tangiers. But if you open your heart to a smooth operator, he'll take you for all that you've got. He'll hand you a curse that'll be with you later. It'll shake you the way he takes off, like a shot. You need a bit of shock treatment. Get you jumping like a real live wire. Need a bit of shock treatment. So look out, mister, don't you blow your last resistor for a vista that'll mystify ya.
You're blinded by romance, you're blinded by science. Your condition is critically grave. But don't expect mercy from such an alliance. Suspicion of tradition, so you wave.
You need a bit of shock treatment. Get you jumping like a real live wire. You need a bit of shock treatment. Get you jumping like a real live wire. You need a bit of shock treatment. So look out, mister, don't you blow your last resistor for a sister that'll certify ya.
You'll be pathetically crazy about shock treatment. Trust me, I'm a doctor.
This one's different. Trust me.
We're just.
Put the gun down before you kill someone.
Teenage Girl's Diary.
Hello and welcome to another Dollar Store Drive-In. I'm your host, Laura.
I'm Joel.
And we're the Newlydeads. Thank you very much for joining us. If this is your first time watching, welcome to the show that is crazy, I guess. We do record this in our house, so we always like to preface that because sometimes you'll see dogs pop up or, bark. Sometimes that doesn't really happen as much, but they do like to pop in and out of the frame sometimes. This is also a podcast, so we like to turn the show into a podcast. So if you're listening to this, this is actually a visual show. So we highly recommend that you visit our website, which is thenewlydeads.com. For all of the show information, all of the other things that we do. We have a blog that we do. I randomly review different local artists, or I should say small businesses, because it's not always local. We also have like authors, soap makers, candle makers, sewists, crochetyists, all sorts of different jewelry makers. If you name it, if it's a small business, I am always interested in reviewing it. So if you have a small business, you can email us at contact@thenewlydeads.com. And you can let me know if you want me to review your business. So awesome.
We also have movie reviews.
Yeah. What?
Movie reviews?
Movie reviews. Yeah. Sorry. I just went off on my own blog.
Hey, that's good.
Joel does movie reviews, and we have a YouTube channel. I also do, coffee reviews, which I need to get one of those going. Yeah.
That's all right.
But we also have a YouTube channel besides this show where we do reviews on different things. So we have done some coffee reviews. We do snack videos, unboxings. Thank you. He's helping me. You can find all that again at our website, thenewlydeads.com. And if this is not your first time watching, welcome back. I just wanted to make sure I give a shout out to the people who do frequent the show. So we love you. We appreciate you. Consequently, we are fresh off of the witches market that just happened, last weekend. So it's probably a couple weeks, from when you're watching this or whatever, but it just ended. It was amazing. I did do a review on the wolves and on the witches market itself. So you can also check that post out. It is a fresh review that we have on our website right now.
And you can also find the links to that on our Facebook page.
Yes.
So if you just look up the Newlydeads, you can find our Facebook page, and all of this stuff is posted there as it hits the site.
Yep.
If it's a little easier to find sometimes.
And we are also on Instagram.
And TikTok occasionally.
Occasionally. Occasionally. But this is the Dollar Store Drive-In. And so our whole show is based around a movie that we watched. This week we watched the movie that he's pointing at, but I'm going to get to in 1 second because we do have some criteria for the movies that we are watching. Basically, the movie has to be a $5 or less movie that we usually will find or rent. Yeah, he's always on the lookout for movies. Sometimes people give us the movies, which is also nice. But it also needs to be a horror, thriller, or sci-fi genre type film. We have done some kind of like romantic kind of things, but it always has to have some sort of like horror or sci-fi kind of like element to it. And it also needs to be a movie that neither of us have ever seen. So that's the basic criteria for the film. This week we watched a movie called Ouija Geist. Yep. Ouija Geist.
Thoughts.
Lots of thoughts. She will eat your soul. This is a very confusing box of things. And like, what? Yeah.
I'm looking at the back. I'm like, who? She?
Yeah.
She who?
I know.
Well, who's that 6-armed person?
It's a confusing cover for sure. But I'm going to read the synopsis of it. Joel always likes that part. And then we will get on with this. So, are you ready for this, Joel? It does say this game spells terror on the back.
That's not the word it spells.
No. Also, I always like to read little reviews and stuff. Like, a lot of fun to be had here. Impressive camera work, and the score is striking, says Dark Eyes of London.
It's that's an indicator when they're like, the camera work was fantastic.
Yeah.
And that's the best thing they can do. At least it said something kind.
Yeah.
So, kudos.
Okay. It's not a very long synopsis.
Okay.
After renting a new apartment, a single mom finds a spirit board buried in the backyard, which conjures the ghosts of a group of evil entities who haunt her and her family. A local priest is enlisted to help her put these souls to rest forever before they break free and create hell on earth.
That is short.
Not rated.
Rated nothing.
Rated nothing.
Yeah, that was really short.
Mm-hmm. I told you it was short. Wow. That's all I got to say.
Somebody's got to watch it.
I was excited about this. But yeah, we definitely have some thoughts.
Yeah, we've seen a lot of movies that have Geist or Ouija in the title, but not together. So we had hope. We'll let you know how that panned out here momentarily.
Yes. All right. So we're going to have you watch the trailer, which is a Ouija board.
What if we can find a Ouija board on wheels?
Ouija board on wheels.
Ouija board. Ouija board.
That's a Ouija board.
I guess so.
Yeah. And once you guys watch the trailer or listen to the trailer, I guess if you're listening to this on Spotify or whatever podcast place you find us on, we'll be right back. Sound good?
Let's do it.
All right.
Found it buried in my garden.
Stupid. I must say it's in nice condition considering.
Do you think I could get much for it then?
No! Which boards? Mumbo jumbo stuff.
Okay.
Best not to play with it though.
Do you believe in curses, man?
Yes! Of course I don't believe in curses, and neither should you. It's bloody rubbish.
Stupid.
It's just bad luck.
And you really believe that a ghost did that? No! Do you know how mad that sounds?
Yes!
You say that there was a spirit board?
Yes, but it's just a toy, isn't it?
Dabbling with such things is no game.
Wow.
Don't believe it's the devil, do you?
Mrs. Harper, in order to believe in one, you must believe in the other.
And we're back. Thank you very much for watching that flatulent trailer, I'm guessing. This would be a good one for that. Yeah, so Joel's got some notes.
All right. And I take notes so we have a little bit of a guideline as far as what happened. I write down my thoughts kind of as we go. It's just kind of a mishmash of things. But I also draw pictures. And then at the end of the year, Mrs. Newlydead puts them together into a flip book along with hopefully hers this year.
He is a fabulous artist.
And she's biased. And so then you all can see it and see what I had to say if you really care. But anyway, this week I'm trying to hide the bottom.
Is that a goose?
I don't know. It's some sort of a bird that's got a top hat and tie on.
Very cute.
And he's got dead eyes, so I'm not sure.
An avocado?
That is supposed to be a planchette, but it's not a very good planchette. It's not a Suzanne Pochette.
It looks like a cross between an avocado and a coffee bean.
Right? It doesn't look like it. I couldn't, and I just went with it.
What's up with that guy's misshapen head?
Then there's a guy with a misshapen head. I don't know. I just kind of like the way
cute.
that he looked, kind of with his little pieces
dig
put
him.
together.
Mhm.
He looks sad. That's a lot of my
He does.
characters look sad.
Yeah.
I don't know why. I'm happy.
You'll see it when we put it up at the end of the year.
So, Ouija Geist is from 2018. It's a fairly new film. Currently sitting at 2.7 out of 10 on the Internet Movie Database. This is directed...
2 out of 10?
2.7 out of 10.
Okay.
This is directed by John R. Walker, who is known for Amityville Playhouse. We have learned that there are a lot of Amityvilles. If you watch one of our prior episodes, I actually did tally.
Someday, I think we're going to just go through them all. Like tens of 30s.
Right? I think there was 46 at last
46?
count. SRS, and they're not all directly tied to the original film, but SRS, which is an independent video film distributor, I was just on their site today because I was looking at a new set that was coming out for the Truth or Dare series, which is Elijah Wood's favorite film, and Joel R. Wincup's in it, who's a friend of mine. Anyway, and they have an entire section on their site just for Amityville movies. He also did Blood Bride and the Demons from Hell, excuse me, plural. And this one must be a fairly recent movie, 5G Zombies.
5G
Zombies. So Daryl Buxton is one of the two writers of this film. Yeah, there were two. He wrote this, and then they wrote 5G Zombies also. The other writer is Steve Hardy, not to be confused with Steve Harvey, who wrote this, 5G Zombies, and Amityville Playhouse. You kind of get a theme there. They're all kind of working together, apparently. This stars Louise Wilkinson as our lead character, the single mother that they spoke about, who has only been in this, and that was it. Apparently, she just decided this was enough. And the other name I mentioned here, because this person has a deep bench resume, is Leslie Scoble, who I believe played her mother,
Yeah.
I think. She was in A Night to Remember, which is, if I remember correctly, the film about the Titanic that is from way back, classic film. She was also in David Lynch's The Elephant Man, which if you've never seen it, it's on the shelf. I've got the Criterion Collection version of it. That film is amazing, a little hard to watch, but not because it's slow or bad. It's just there's a lot of stuff going on that's difficult to watch, as most David Lynch films are challenging. And she was in Village of the Damned. Yes, that Village of the Damned. Oops.
Was she really?
Yeah. Those are just 3 of her credits that I pulled because I thought they were ones that would be interesting to bring up.
You think that was her mom?
I'm guessing. I'm not sure. I'm just assuming that. So, but yeah, her resume reads like, some really pretty premier stuff. So at this point, my wife turns to me and says,
"What did you think?"
So here's where we get into it. So the first thing she mentioned that I was thinking was, how in the heck did the witchboard at the beginning of the film, which is in another country, end up in England buried? Like,
yeah,
how did it go from one place to the other? Like, they don't tell you, but just like one guy has it, he ends up missing or dead or whatever, presumed dead, and next thing you know, she's finding it in the garden. I don't know how many miles away, a long ways away.
It's weird. It starts off by a guy just like running through the hills in Switzerland.
Like Iron Maiden.
Just running.
Yep.
Yeah, run.
Or like Arrested Development. Running. Arrested Development.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, so he's just like running up this hill and he gets to this barn. It looks like he's running from something or from someone, and then he gets to this like abandoned house, whatever. There's somebody like obviously not alive laying on the floor. and finds the witchboard or whatever, and it says witchboard on it.
On the box.
He's not speaking English.
Nope.
But he's in Switzerland.
No subtitles.
No subtitles. It just keeps saying on the bottom, speaking a foreign language.
Right.
And the witchboard is like whispering, like, yeah, it doesn't sound good. It's just like, and I'm just like, what? But it's like funny sounding.
And like it's trying to open.
And then he runs with it down the hill again and buries it.
Yep.
And then just starts laughing.
And then next thing you see is a news report in the single mother's house
in London or whatever, England.
This guy that's missing
for 6 months. He's been missing for 6 months.
And she goes out in the yard with her dog.
And it's buried in her backyard.
Her dog finds it, points it out to her, and then is terrified of it after the fact.
And it's not even really buried. It's just kind of like stuck in the ground, sticking out
with
clearly.
The grass on top.
And she's like, what is this? It clearly says witchboard on the top. Witchboard. Like, why would you not, like, I don't know what this is. And then she opens it up and she's like, oh, it must be a game.
And her mother is like, yeah, it's a game that people would play. Like, this entire world doesn't know what
a Ouija board
is. Like, everybody's explaining it like the audience is not going to know what that is. Give them a little credit. If you're watching a horror movie, you probably have dealt with a Ouija board at some point in your life. I mean, The Exorcist kind of made that pretty much a household thing for those who weren't already aware. The music, at first I was like, oh, cool. It kind of reminds me of Halloween 3 a little bit. It's kind of that kind of a pseudo-electronic kind of lo-fi thing going on. But then as the movie goes on, the music is just way too loud to the point where you can't understand the dialogue. If we didn't have the subtitles on, we would have missed a lot of what was being said.
And it doesn't make sense for like the scenes and stuff like that either. Everything is ominous.
It's very out of place. Yeah.
So even though the score, they don't say the score is good. They say the score is striking.
It was striking. It struck me in the ears,
loud.
so we couldn't hear.
Yeah.
However, one high point in this film was her dog Mungo was cute, but poor Mungo.
Yeah. As all good dogs in a movie, they always meet their sad demise. I feel like
Mungo.
Yeah.
Cute little dude. So there also was some weird choices made by the actors because they all kind of were talking in the same like pitch and tone and timbre. Like everything about it was very like similar. Like they were like the line delivery was just very
monotone.
Like whoever was the coach or the speech dialect coach or whatever was just like, all right, everybody sound exactly the same. It was bizarre.
Yeah.
Also, the Ouija Geist, which is what I'm going to call the entity that's trying to kill everybody, apparently really likes mundane deaths because, like, somebody fell down the stairs, somebody got, or was going to get into some hot water. But probably the worst death of anybody was the dog because it got decapitated somehow.
Mm-hmm.
And then the head was chucked in from somewhere unknown. Sorry, spoiler alert. And I wrote, don't kill the dog or we riot. And I said, well, we did because they did. So we actually rioted because of that.
Mm-hmm.
I wrote that this movie is bad. And then I said, just bad. The witchboard is very noisy, which we mentioned. Like it keeps trying to open the lid and it makes lots of talking noises. And I think she only uses it, once?
Yeah, with her friend.
Yeah, her friend comes over to this really she just moved into the apartment. So to be fair, it wasn't decorated or anything, but it's a really modest apartment, and they're sitting there drinking wine or whatever, and they sort of use the Ouija board, kind of play with it or whatever, but they don't really do much with it. And all of a sudden, all hell breaks loose, essentially. And to be honest, the film had a lot of elements that could have made it worthwhile, like the quality of the digital camera. I'm assuming it was digital, was pretty well done. The lighting was pretty decent. There was a lot that was going for it that could have made it okay, but they just continually flubbed everything they did. Why did I write sink penis? Oh, because when she goes in, somebody goes into the kitchen. No, there's the preacher. There's a preacher that comes to the house.
It was the mom.
Maybe? I thought it was the minister, and he was looking at it. and it got bigger and bigger, and then it exploded and like got all over his face.
I thought it was a girl.
Oh, maybe it was her mom. But it looked kind of phallic.
Yeah.
Which I think I wrote the best part of this movie was the obsessed priest. And when I say obsessed, he wasn't obsessed about the Ouija Geist. He wasn't obsessed with, the devil or anything like that. He was obsessed with films. Like all of his commentary was referencing film, either quotes or storylines or talking about them in the context of the story that they were telling in the movie. And I'm sure that they're like, I'm going to make a cool priest that's into movies, which I've known a priest that was into movies that talked about them during their sermon. And it's fine if it's in, the context of whatever is going on, but it felt very like ham-fisted and forced. I wrote, are these people horribly ignorant? Which apparently they were. I also wrote choking demons ? And then I said band name, called it. Oh, right. Because towards the end, people start like getting possessed or something like that. They don't really make that very clear. And whenever the demons are like, I'm going to call them demons, on the attack, they make like this weird choking noise. Is that what it was?
I think so.
Right? We watched this a couple days ago.
Yeah.
So they're like, they sound like they're choking.
Yes.
And then for the last like 10 minutes of the film, it kind of turns into, I think you've seen 2010's Crazies.
Yes.
It kind of feels like that a little bit, but at a much slower pace with a lot less money behind it.
Yeah. This is a very slow moving, boring movie. I put, boring, slow. I put some Z's. Yeah, I did take a little bit of notes. I said it was an incoherent story.
Yep.
Loud music that overshadows the dialogue and doesn't match the vibe of the scene.
Yep.
No one knows what a Ouija board is.
Nope.
Dumb demonic whispers.
Yep.
What was the point of Switzerland? No point.
They were setting up the ending of the film, ultimately. But
I guess.
If you're not going to have subtitles, give us something more to go off of.
Boring, slow, zzz, and then I said, OMG, dumb.
Yeah, I wrote, the very last thing I wrote before eventually wrapping up my notes was, that ending, shit.
Yeah. So there was another actor that was like referenced on the front here. India. I don't know how to say that word. Walker. But like
Rakia Walker?
Yeah. So
gonna say.
The main woman that was in it, the one that moved into the apartment or whatever, the mom that moved into the apartment, that was her name in the movie. India.
I thought Lois Wilkinson was the girl that was
I don't know.
Does it say on the back? Like, does it have like in quotations the name of the actor?
No, it just says starring Lois Wilkins, Leslie Scoble, and an India, Rakia Walker.
Huh. Maybe that was who it was. Maybe I got it backwards.
I'm not sure. I just thought I'd mention that.
Well,
her name was India in the movie. So
I'll look her up.
Maybe there's like that name.
I'll if she is the lead person, I'll put a couple of her stats up here, some movies she was in. Because as we've talked about in the past couple of weeks here, the editor is me, and so anytime there's editorial comments, it's me going back as we're reviewing the movie and reviewing the show and editing it, and throwing in things that I missed or that I made a mistake on or that we needed to add context to. So I'll put that in here because I didn't notice that, and that is true. Her name was India, which I thought was a little, you don't know a lot of people in India.
This was a unremarkable, unmemorable. Like it's like I just don't even remember parts of it just because it was like so boring.
Like last week's movie, we just kind of nothing. Like it was just kind of it was like a piece of white bread with nothing on it. This movie was like a piece of white bread that had nothing on it except mold.
It was a moldy piece of bread.
Yeah, like it wasn't even like that's something you could turn into something better.
It wasn't funny. Like there was no, you know what I mean? Like sometimes when you're watching like a campy, like, B movie that you're just like, oh, this is going to be a poop fest or whatever. But like this wasn't scary. It wasn't funny. It wasn't like, at least like hokey. It was just like moldy and like, I don't know, go into the dentist or something and like in the waiting room of the dentist office, like you're waiting for like to get a tooth pulled or something like that.
And that entity on the cover is nowhere in the film.
Nope.
And
who is she? She will eat your soul.
apparently
Who's eating your
the
soul?
Ouija Geist is a woman. There was one bit that I have to mention before we probably should go ahead and wrap this up. I remember when we were watching it, there was a scene where somebody in the movie dies. I won't tell you who in case you want to watch it. And I won't ruin the ending in case you want to watch it. But she's talking to a gentleman that's in the cemetery. And Laura was like, I guess his lines are over, because he was standing there talking to him and he was not a good actor. He just kind of turns and he faces like away from the camera and just stands there.
He's like, well, I need to go over here and do something or whatever. He's like, I need to go, figure something out. And then she's like, okay. And he just kind of stands there, and it's almost like Homer Simpson going into the, the bush.
He just stands there looking out across the cemetery.
Like longingly.
But he just looks like he's standing on his mark. Like, this is your mark when you're done. Wait here until they leave the scene and then you're done for the day. And he just looks so out of place.
That's a wrap on that guy.
Right.
Yeah.
It was a bizarre choice.
Yeah, it was,
but
not great.
It's the whole movie.
So should we do our rating?
Yeah, why not?
How about out of hot baths?
Oh, no.
Yeah.
Hot baby, check it and see.
Let's take a bath. It's 103.
She read my mind.
Yeah.
We are simpatico.
Yeah, we
anyway.
are. So what would you give it?
It's my turn. So I wrote down here last night because last week I gave the film a 0 out of 5 because it was just flatlined. I actually took this one to a -1 out of 5.
I was going to do the same. I didn't fall asleep, but my brain fell asleep because I don't even barely remember the ending. It was so boring and so, just not fun.
Yeah.
Unfun. Unfun.
Fun is the best way to describe this film.
Yeah. So, all right. Well, if they don't, should I blow this bad boy up?
Do what you
I'm going to
want.
leave my notes in there too.
Oh, no.
I have a sticky note. So, the dogs are so tired. I took them to work with me today that they didn't even flinch when I threw that.
Zonked.
Okay. So, if they don't want to watch this fine film, what should they watch?
So I decided to go with actually a movie that was featured on Joe Bob last season or the season before, and one that's on the shelf, and one that if you are looking for a bad movie but that's entertaining and fun and you'll want to watch it more than once, then I would recommend 1986's Witchboard, which is all about a Ouija board, and Tawny Katane from the Whitesnake videos used to be married to David Coverdale. She's the star of it, and it is notoriously not good, but it is just such a fun movie to watch that you don't care. So if you want a good version of this,
that's how bad movies are done, done good, done well.
If they're just bad, then you don't want to see it ever again and you blow it up. But if it's bad good, then you might want to own it or watch it multiple times or with friends. Or
and if
whatever.
you're watching this, you know what we're talking about.
Oh, you know.
All right. Well, what are we watching next week?
All right.
Mr. Newlydead.
Once again, we have high hopes, but will they be dashed upon the rocks? This is from 2018.
Covenant. They hide in plain sight.
Who hides in plain sight, I wonder?
This person with the B face?
With the B face?
B.
Oh, I thought you said P face, and then I thought you said B face, but he's got a V. Okay.
Evil will show no mercy. I am not feeling good about this already.
All right.
Not feeling good.
Well, let's see what that synapsis got to say and see if it's going to be a good one.
It's really short.
Again? Is
really
it another
short.
Wild Eye releasing?
Wild-eyed?
Yeah, on the side, does it say who the company is?
High Octane? Would that be it?
Oh, that's not a great sign either. ITN, we kind of get a mixed bag.
Yeah.
Wild Eye traditionally will like anything that's out there. They'll
Shadow World Productions.
No, you're right the first time.
High
Octane
is in association with Bad Fish Films and Carbonite Entertainment.
Oh, Carbonite. That's
presents a Manuel H. da Silva film.
Oh.
I don't know who
We'll
that
find
is.
out. We'll let you find out too. So,
Okay.
All right, hit me.
After receiving word of his estranged mother's untimely passing, a reluctant former Army lieutenant must travel to a secluded town in the Pacific Northwest to unlock the mystery surrounding her suspicious death. Suspicious death is in giant letters.
So it's very suspicious. And, you know, if
very dead.
The community has taught us anything, it's don't be suspicious, don't be suspicious. Ben Schwartz and Jenny Slate.
Best
We'd
scene ever. Yeah.
I'm a big Jenny Slate fan.
Yeah.
And we like Ben Schwartz too.
We
My
do.
kids especially, with the whole Sonic the Hedgehog thing. But anyway.
All right. That's it.
That is all.
Yeah, that's all she wrote on Ouija Geist. Again, if you want to find us, you can go to the Newlydeads.com and find all of the information about us, our art, all of the things. And until next time,
keep it cheap and creepy.
Go look after your mother and sister. Where are you going?
I'm gonna finish this. Goodbye, Tom.
Bye.
Sheriff? They want you down at the cemetery.
Today in the cemetery, somebody dug up a coffin. It was a coffin of a 9-year-old girl. You've come back to us, Michael.
When are they going to realize that she is not him? She's just a child.
They know that Michael Myers is her uncle, and that she attacks her stepmother. That's why they fear her, especially on Halloween. You're afraid. You're afraid the whole thing might start to happen again.
How many people did he kill last year? Have you forgotten? But you never looked into his face, did you? You never saw his eyes. You never saw that nothing, no expression, blank. My memory goes back 12 years. I prayed that he would burn in hell, but in my heart, I knew that hell would not have him. Michael Myers is outside.
The National Guard will take him to a maximum security facility, where he'll stay till the day he dies.
Never die.
Say That's very good. Hello, I'm Dr. Cosmo McKinley. I'd like to tell you about a new film from the gang that gave you the Rocky Horror Show. Shock treatment.
I'm not a locum with no suture myself. I've been a cynic for too many years. Playing doctor and nurse, it can be good for your health. I've seen clinics with those gimmicks in Tangiers. But if you open your heart to a smooth operator, he'll take you for all that you've got. He'll hand you a curse that'll be with you later. It'll shake you the way he takes off, like a shot. You need a bit of shock treatment. Get you jumping like a real live wire. Need a bit of shock treatment. So look out, mister, don't you blow your last resistor for a vista that'll mystify ya.
You're blinded by romance, you're blinded by science. Your condition is critically grave. But don't expect mercy from such an alliance. Suspicion of tradition, so you wave.
You need a bit of shock treatment. You're jumping like a real live wire. Need a bit of shock treatment. So look out, mister, don't you blow your last resistor for a sister that'll certify ya.
Fire, fire.
You need a bit of shock treatment. Get you jumping like a real live wire. You need a bit of shock treatment. So look out, mister, don't you blow your last resistor for a sister that'll certify ya.
You'll be pathetically crazy about shock treatment. Trust me, I'm a doctor.